We've been talking a lot about the booming housing market, and that means a lot of people are moving, like we were just saying. Earlier, I got some advice on what you should do if you are going to be on the move. The real estate market is hot, and a lot of people are seeing issues with movers. And so with us today to talk about that is RE/MAX real estate specialist Maria Raymer. Thanks for being with us again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You always have some great information, and today we're talking about moving issues.
Yes.
So what kinds of things are you seeing out there?
So the main thing I think people need to be aware of right now is websites and finding movers online. Be very careful about this. There are companies out there setting up very fancy websites that have great phone service, and it'll build your confidence to the point where they're taking 50% deposits. People are happy to give it to them because they think that they've got a good company on the line. So what they're finding though is when the movers show up, it's a different experience altogether, and those phone service people are nowhere to be found when there's a problem. So things we're hearing are when the movers show up, before they even start the job, many times they'll just say, oh, this is more than what we thought, and it's going to be $2,000 or $3,000 more.
Wow.
Yeah, and at that point you're in a really difficult situation because you have to move, and they know that. And so you feel compelled to have to pay them, or you don't have a mover. So it's a really bad position to be in. I've even heard things like they don't say anything until they load up the truck. And then they call and say they won't be delivering the furniture until they get the extra payment, and they want to be paid up front. So it's almost like holding your furniture for ransom unless you pay the difference. Now, I haven't personally been involved in that, but I've read some recent news on that in the state of Florida. So it is getting pretty common in certain areas. So it's something they really have to be careful about.
People take advantage of people every day, right? But we mentioned that it is a hot real estate market. So, I mean, I'm sure this is going to be happening more than ever. So how do we protect ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, do your homework. Certainly go online and vet out these companies the best you can. But, you know, be mindful of companies online that make recommendations for businesses, because many times those businesses pay to be on those recommendation lists. So it's not always a reflection of how good that company is. So do your own, do your own homework and check people out. You know, have them come to the house and give you a bid. See if they show up in a uniform with a lettered truck and have all that professionalism about them. Be sure they're not contracting out to another party to do the move, and they're not just there bidding the move, because you can't really control the quality of the move if you're outside of that company and they're just going to the lowest bidder to move your stuff.
Right.
So that's something too.
Okay, well, let's say, okay, we're hiring a moving company. This is happening. So what should we be looking out for other than those sites?
Yeah, that's a great question. What people can do is get the bid in writing. Make sure it's a guaranteed bid and it's signed off on, so you at least have something in writing to go back on. I always tell people, go by personal recommendations. People you know are the best people to talk to. Like for my customers, I have vendor lists, and we help them through the entire sale with things they might need that pertain to a house sale. So our vendor lists are made up of past customer recommendations, other agents, and my personal experience with these vendors as well. So that's a word of mouth recommendation. So if you need a quality person, most of the time I'm going to have somebody on my list that I can recommend to you.
Yeah, you definitely want that. Somebody that a real estate specialist is going to be recommending, not just one that you're finding online and hoping that it works out.
Exactly.
What else are you telling your clients though?
Well, these are the main things, is just do your due diligence. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till a contract comes in to start looking for a mover. The moment you decide to sell your house, you can start shopping for movers, getting quotes. By the time you're under contract, you could have something in writing with an estimate from a mover and have that part out of the way, so you're not so pressured in a short timeline. And if you book them out earlier, you're probably going to get better pricing than if you're in a desperate situation and call somebody at the last minute. So my advice would be, start this process very early. It should be the first thing you work on when you're getting ready to make a move.
Okay, speaking of making a move, where can they go to get information?
MariaRaymer.com.
All right, well, it was so good to see you today, and great information as always.
Thank you.
Of course, and if you'd like to see this segment again or get more information, go to firstcoastliving.net.